We'll hear from a couple of our promoters at this time. First, introducing the respected, longtime president of TGB Promotions, Tom Brown.
Thank you, Jimmy. Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. On February 22nd, at the MGM Grand Arena, it's going to be bombs away. We have two superstars here, the best two heavyweights in the world. And you're going to see a lot of passion today from both fighters at this press conference and all the events leading up to the show, because there's a lot at stake. This is the best in boxing, and there's nothing like a great heavyweight championship fight. And we have the undefeated, hardest punching heavyweight in the world, the most feared heavyweight in the world, and I believe one of the all-time great heavyweights ever in Deontay Wilder. Now there's a reason that Fury and his team didn't want the immediate rematch right after the first fight. Negotiations had begun. They abruptly cut off the negotiations for the rematch. He ended up signing up with Top Rank and taking a couple of tune-up fights instead. He felt that power on December 1. And that's not going to change. You can just ask Luis Ortiz. You know, I was lucky enough to have promoted the first fight across the street here at Staples, and I believe that we really have something special in the rematch. I look forward to a fantastic night on February 22nd. I hope to see you all there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tom Brown. And now we're going to hear from a promoter from the other side of the stage. He's the president of famed Top Rank Incorporated. Please welcome Todd DeBuff.
Thank you, Jimmy. I think everybody always talks about the odds of two different entities or promotional entities or managements not being able to make matches. Well, the one common thing is we both have Jimmy Lennon, so I think that helped do it. But really, honestly, you know, Shelley, Al, PBC, Tom, everyone who came together. We talk about boxing having a renaissance, but it's really about the heavyweight division that's going to create that renaissance even more than anything right now. Over a year ago, before they did the first Fury-Wilder fight, a media guy said to me, you got to listen to this podcast. And it was Fury with Joe Rogan. And it just took me over, took us all over. What a character, so true, so gritty. He backs it up with everything. And you put him and Deontay Wilder together with two great personalities. This is the beginning of, like we talk about, the next super heavyweight run for the sport of boxing. We've looked back in the history of time. There's been great matches, but this is just the beginning. So everybody, February 22nd is coming on us real quick. Everybody's working great together. I'm glad we could get the press conference in, and we'll see you there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Todd DeBuff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring out our fighters at this time, have them face off in the center of the stage. A little bit later, we'll have an opportunity for Q&A for them as well and hear from their camps as well. First, ladies and gentlemen, the lineal heavyweight champion is the former unified world champion with his tremendous defeat over Vladimir Klitschko. After his bout with Wilder, he's kept busy. He's racked up a couple of back-to-back victories. He's crossed over to professional wrestling and headlined in WWE's Crown Jewel October event. Ladies and gentlemen, with a record of 29 wins, no losses, one draw, with 20 wins coming by way of knockout from Manchester, England, here is the undefeated lineal heavyweight champion of the world, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
Sorry about this. Toughen it, LA!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, the WBC heavyweight world champion, is boxing's current longest reigning heavyweight champion. Now, his 10 consecutive title defenses gives him more than other boxing greats such as Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier, and Lennox Lewis, and he matches Muhammad Ali's run. He's kept busy after his bout with Fury, delivering 2 sensational highlight reel knockouts. And he recently traveled to Rome, where Pope Francis named him the 2020 Ambassador for Peace through Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, with a record of 42 wins, no losses, and 1 draw, he has 41 big wins coming by way of knockout from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Here is the undefeated WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. And we're going to ask if our fighters could toe the line, face off, square off for this photo opportunity. Once again, it is for the heavyweight championship of the world, the rematch you've all been waiting for, Wilder versus Fury 2. And we're going to ask our gentlemen to take their seats. We're going to make their conversation a little bit more public when we have our Q&A answer and deliver it so all can hear. I want to bring to your attention that... What? Scared me to death. That's okay, Deontay.
Excuse me, there seems to be a pussy in the building. Can someone call the bomb squad company?
We want to bring to your attention that tickets are available for this event. Certainly it will be a sellout, promising, guaranteeing to be a sellout. They're available right now at mgmgrand.com and axs.com as well. Also bringing to your attention that an event of this magnitude not only brings the great promoters together, but network giants as well. It is available on pay-per-view, on Fox Sports pay-per-view, and ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Now, one corner, you have the WBC champion, arguably the hardest hitter in the history of boxing. Across the ring, the undefeated lineal champion, immensely skilled Goliath, who seemingly cannot be stopped. Certainly, their trainers and strategists have their work cut out for them. We're going to hear from the camps at this time. First, Tyson Fury's trainer, the new head trainer for Team Gypsy King. Not new to Tyson Fury at all, longtime confident. Let's hear from Kronk Gym in Detroit, Sugar Hill Stewart.
Thank you for the introduction. I'd like to say that this fight here, this is one of those fights that you don't want to miss. The first one was a fight you didn't want to miss, but I'm sure everybody watched it on the replay. You had two great champions going at it with each other. Both of the fighters, they left the ring still undefeated, still wanting to settle the score. And February 22nd, the score will be settled. These are the two heavyweights in the division, in a division of big heavyweights. The division has changed a bit. The heavyweights from yesteryear, they were smaller, but now every heavyweight you have now out here is 230, 250 pounds, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'9". It's an incredible time for boxing to have all these guys here fighting strong fights, fighting each other, and making this division once again what it used to be. The heavyweight division is still the biggest, most powerful division in boxing. It always will be. Everyone wants to see the big guys throw those big blows. You got Deontay Wilder, big puncher, the biggest puncher in boxing history. And you got Tyson Fury, one of the best boxers out there in boxing history as well. February 22nd, you're going to see an exciting fight. I don't know what else to really say about it. I'm happy to be training here with Tyson Fury. It's been about 10 years since we trained together. He trained with me and my uncle Emanuel, and I'm here completing what Emanuel started. Thank you.
Thank you, Sugar Hill. Now we're going to hear from the other side, the co-manager of Deontay Wilder. Please welcome International Boxing Hall of Famer Shelley Finkel.
Go on, Shelley.
How you doing? I think it's pretty obvious that I like this man over here. When he tried to tell us we picked a light fighter, he knew. I knew he wasn't. But also I do care about him. So hopefully after he gets knocked out, he has this other job with wrestling. And they're looking forward to him, and he was great. So I'm really glad for it.
Thought you could have done better than that, Shelley. Come on.
Yeah,
Is that it?
You overshadow me. I
Come
can't do
on.
that.
I'll go easy.
You can't. It's not
Will.
in you.
All right, we're going to hear from both of our fighters at this time. Certainly no strangers to the limelight and the microphone, both of them. First, let's hear from the undefeated lineal heavyweight world champion, Tyson Fury. Tyson?
Hello. Can everybody hear me? Fantastic. First of all, thank you everybody to come and see the Gypsy King again on this lovely day. Second of all, we have the rematch. I can't remember a bigger heavyweight fight in a long time. Maybe Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson was the last big fight like this. That was the last US-UK showdown. Deontay Wilder took a bit of my advice on his dress sense, I can see. He's looking well, smart. And that's it really, you know. There's not much I can say. And I don't, for the first time in my boxing career, I don't need to sell this fight. People know what they're going to get. It says exactly what it says on the tin. You're going to get a good fight. Whether I think the consensus is either he knocks me out or I win on points. That's what's been going around. Either Fury wins on points or Wilder wins by KO. You know, and usually when people have that opinion, it usually goes the opposite way around. So yeah, expect Wilder to come out boxing and moving, looking for a points victory, and expect me to come out bombing, looking for a knockout. It's usually what happens. But apart from that, Deontay Wilder hasn't been returning my calls or messages or texts since I beat him last time. Yeah, he tried to keep his distance. He didn't want to do press conferences with me. He didn't want to be around me in case I got into his head. Sticks and stones break your bones. Names will never hurt you. It doesn't really matter what I say or what Wilder says. It all matters what happens on the night, February 22nd. And what's going to happen on that night is I'm going to get what I won last time. I'm going to get that green belt. I'm also going to get the Ring magazine. And I'm also going to keep my lineal championship. And if he wants to rematch again, no problem. Beat a man once, you beat him again, you definitely beat him 3 times in a row. Not a bother. And that is about all from me. Thank you very much.
And now it's time to hear from the undefeated WBC world champion, Deontay Wilder.
How you guys doing? It's great to be back. You know, another event. Thanks to everyone that's involved in this amazing, you know, heavyweight title fight. One of the biggest of this era for sure. You know, I can't wait. Y'all already know, man. I'm always in my element. I'm always in the zone. You know, and right now, man, I can't wait. I'm going into camp. Can't wait to get back into camp. You know, my body feel like it's walking into the 6th week of camp instead of the 3rd week of camp. And it's been amazing for me because it's been a quick turnaround for me. Usually I'm months and months and months at a time before I have another fight, but I'm still coming in shape. You know, I always say I put shape on top of shape, but this time around I'm putting shape on top of shape on top of shape. you know, and it allowed me to prepare, you know, even harder, even more for him. And we all know rematches, I'm always sharp because I've been in there with them before. I understand what they're capable of doing and what they're planning on doing and what they did in the fight, and I take away from that and I bring it to account for me. So I'm prepared more than ever for this fight. I knocked him out the first time. I told Fury 2 years ago that I was going to baptize him, and I did just that. You know, rising up is part of the baptism. I told her he was going to go timber, and he did just that. But this time around, it's a different story. This time around, this is called unfinished business. This point in time, he won't be able to get up. And since he's in WWE, I'm going to make sure he go right out the ring, and I might get on the top of the bucket or the rope and come down with a flying elbow kick. He needs validation from the people. He needs some type of inspiration, some type of motivation to feel like he beat me such a far wide margin that he did, when he know he didn't. And if so, why so many trainers? Why so many rotations? He rotating trainers like he do his draws. Every day changing, firing, hiring. The first time around, he wanted to talk about how he was out of shape and stuff, but you did. You came in great shape the first time. Like you supposed to. What you spent? 100,000 pounds? Trainers, camps, different little things? Well, I still have my old trainers, still sat back, and still to this day, I got the same people. You don't see me firing no one. You don't see me bringing no one on if you're supposed to be such this great fighter, you know. And I was supposed to be this guy that don't have no skills. But we see who's more concerned than the other one. Because when you have power and nowhere around it, you can't prepare for that. You can't prepare for that. The only thing you can do is hope that when it lands, it don't do that much damage. I gave this man a concussion the first time. He don't even know how he got on the ground, nor do he know how he got up. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a concussion. And that been dealing with him for the remaining of the fight since the last fight. He been thinking about that over and over and over. And the only way he can promote himself with that fight is him getting up off his back. Hey, we doing endorsements as well, too. Put one at the bottom of his feet because he's definitely going down. And that's all he's been looking for. That's all he's been looking at. That's the only thing he can fathom his mind around is how he knocked me down and I got up. He needs some type of confidence. But you beat him, Fury. You beat him. Don't worry. You beat him. You beat him with a wide margin. Okay, we're going to see. But all that right there, all that talk before, it dies. It's dead. This is a new beginning right here. This is unfinished business that I will finish. I will do exactly what I said I would do. I'm going to knock him out. Like I told him, I'm the lion. I'm the king of the jungle. And come February 27th, I'm going to rip his head off his body. Remember I said that. I'm going to knock you out there on ropes so you can really feel a WWE moment in real life. I'm glad you got a second job. You need it. This is your whole plans. What I'm going to do when this guy knock my marbles out of my head. Because I'm going to definitely do it. And I can't wait. This is a major fight for you guys. You should be excited. This is the Wilder Fury 2 rematch, and it don't get no better than this. Two giants. Two champions putting their life on the line for others' entertainment. From a distance of places. He's from all the way over the pond, and I'm from here. Two guys putting their energy in the ring just to see who is the king. I speak it, I believe, and I receive it. My time. You know, it was my time. I don't think a person will ever know what it feels like to compete against so many different sports in this country, knowing that boxing is not the top sport, and finally get you a date to yourself. You know, it was amazing. Have the first promotion. I came in with one arm. You know, I broke my hand in camp. I only had 12 weeks and 4 days to train. And that 12 weeks and 4 days, guess what? When that ran out, I was going to be in the ring exact. And I didn't want to risk throwing my hand in camp. I said, at least if I break it in the fight, I'm getting paid. But this time around, I'm in full health. I got both of my hands together. And with Deontay Wilder, I'm unpredictable, so you just don't know what's going to happen. But I know when it comes, bam, baby, good night.
Thank you so much. And Tyson, for you, I know that you want probably a repeat of the last fight where you were sensational in the boxing element of it. Is that right? And then on top of that, the change in trainers, how will that help you execute that?
Waiting to hear his point. He still hasn't got to the point after 7 minutes of talking. What am I going to do in the fight? I'm going to win. That's what I do. Deontay Wilder can make all the excuses he wants to make up in his own brain. His team, everybody can tell him, you won that fight, baby, you won that fight. But listen, as a fighting man, you know when you win and lose fights. Simple as. He lost the fight fair and square. He will lose the fight again fair and square. They had to rob a man who was out the ring for 3 years, ballooned up 147 pounds, and they still couldn't beat him. They had to give him a bad decision in LA, you know, to get a victory for the so-called top bloke, top champion. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to give him a boxing lesson, and I'm going to knock him out. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Why did I bring Sugar Hill in? Because I wanted to. Why do I keep switching trainers? Because I want to. You know, I'm a big believer in you're never a finished article. You can always improve your game. You can always polish it up again. You know, Wilder says he sticks with his team. Fair play to him. I'm a man who likes to keep freshening things up now and again, and I do that regular. That's what I do.
Deontay over here. This will be your third rematch. You had one with Bertman Stavern, Luis Ortiz, and now Fury. Fury has not had a rematch. So what do you make of the fact that you can see and prepare for an opponent the second time, and he hasn't had that opportunity yet?
I have had that opportunity. I have had a rematch before, twice. Get your boxing facts straight, Mosh. Come on.
He's aggravated, don't mind him. You know, in rematches, I'm always better than I was the first time because of what I've seen in the ring and what I've experienced with my opponent. So the second time around, the preparation is a little bit easier because we understand what are they trying to do. I'm very smart. My IQ in the ring is very, very high, you know, and that's why I'm able to set guys up like I'm able to set them up and then get rid of them in the devastating fashion that I get rid of them in. With him, I know everything he want to do. He gave me 100% of him. No matter what he may say, no matter if he got off the couch or whatever, he did the right things to get himself back into shape with all the things that was going on. Of course, every fighter that faced me get in tip-top A++ shape because they understand the danger that they're putting themselves in. They're putting their body in. You know, this is real life right here. When you boxing is real life. We're actually putting our lives on the line, and he understands that. So with that being said, everything that he wants to do, I'm going to diffuse it. Everything he's trying to, that herky-jerky stuff and trying to win rounds at the end of the round, sticking his long tongue out and shaking his bald head, that shit ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to the rematch. We know that when I talk and say things, things actually happen. We know when he talks, you know, it's just only just to talk, to entertain, to try to get a couple of jokes and laughs in and stuff like that. But February 22nd, when that bell ring, it ain't no joke about that.
Thank you.
A quick question for Deontay Wilder first. Have you been able to recreate Tyson's movement in the gym? And what did you learn from the first fight about what you have to do to counteract that?
Well, we got a lot of great guys that come in and out of there, and they use the herky-jerky stuff, the feints and all that, and different things like that. You know, we're bringing different guys at different heights in, that can give me different looks for sure. What was that second question you were saying?
I was just saying, what did you learn from the first fight? What do you need to do to stop him from getting away?
For the first fight, just being more calmer. You know, you're going to see a much more calmer and patient Wilder this time, just like you've seen in the Ortiz. You know, a lot of people didn't understand what I was doing, you know. And when you're blessed with power, you know, You're not worrying about rounds and different things like that. The object of boxing is to win. Not just to win rounds, but to win. And I wins. And I do it in a devastating fashion. I do it in a fashion in which you guys get dressed to come and see. Y'all not coming to see a heavyweight go 12 rounds talking about skills and wheels and paying bills. You come to see him get knocked out. That's what you come to see because you most likely have things planned, you know, after that you want to go see. So when it's a good night, hey, you say, thank you, Deontay, and you go on about your business and handle what you got to do that night. But I'm more than prepared. Like he said, he's ready right now. I am too.
Once again, it's Saturday, February the 22nd, MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wilder versus Fury 2. The rematch for the heavyweight championship of the world, available pay-per-view on Fox Sports Pay-Per-View and ESPN Plus Pay-Per-View.